So this week we are going to be celebrating Chinese New Year, which this year is on the 12th of February. And we are going into the year of the ox, 2021. So I thought to celebrate Chinese New Year, I would make a musical Chinese dragon. Now, as you can see, it's not something that can take about 5 minutes to make. However, it's fairly easy to do. It's using objects that you might have in your house. And it's a fun activity to do on a rainy afternoon. So, keep watching if you want to see how to make a musical Chinese dragon. So what do you need? Well, you need some paper cups or plastic cups. I used around 6. You need something to decorate your cup with. I used different colours of tissue paper, which was really easy just to wrap around and then secure it with some sellotape or glue. But you can use self-adhesive craft papers, stickers. If they're paper cups, you can even paint them or colour them in. Whatever you fancy, just as long as they're nice and colourful. You then need some string. You need something sharp to pierce through your bottom of each cup. So I've actually used, I don't know if you can see, it's a kebab stick, metal stick, because it's got a very sharp point. But you could use scissors, something like that, but just be extremely careful, whatever you're using. You then need either ribbons or tissue papers for the flames, for the dragon and the tail. And you need a paper bowl or a paper plate for the face, or if you've got thick cardboard or craft card, that can do exactly the same thing. And then you need something to paint your dragon's face with. So I've actually used some coloured pens for this, or you can use paint, coloured pencils. And then obviously glue or sellotape and a pair of scissors. So step 1, you want to decorate each of your paper or plastic cups. So once you've decorated each cup that you're using, you're then going to take whatever you're using for your sharp point to pierce a hole. You want to pierce a hole through the bottom of your plastic or paper cup. Now, if you've decorated with tissue paper like I did, you may obviously have to remember you have to go through obviously the paper as well. And so you might need to widen the hole a little bit with a pair of scissors or something, because you're then going to take a long bit of string and you're going to thread your string through each hole in the cup. Now, as you can see from my dragon here, you need to remember that the paper cups are going to go in that way. So you'll be threading the string through here and then through here so that they'll end up like this. Okay, so just be wary of that when you're threading through. So once you've threaded all your cups together, making sure also that you tie a double knot inside each cup so that they don't all flop about, that they'll be secure within that length of string that each cup will have. You then can cut up strips of tissue paper or ribbon, or if you've got thin craft paper, and you're going to make the flames and the tail for your dragon. So as you can see for me, I just again stuck with the tissue paper option because it's quite effective. Oh, he's upside down, there we go. Cut loads and loads of strips. Now you can be as colourful as you like. I was a bit bland and only went with about 3 colours. But if you're using tissue paper and you've got a big pack of colourful tissue, then go to town with it. Go as brightly coloured as you like. A lot of the Chinese dragons that you see that are used for Chinese New Year, they're very colourful. So yeah, feel free to really go for it. And then at the end here of the tail, along with the tissue paper, I've added some strips of ribbon, different tactile ribbons. But I've also, if you do have any of these craft bells in your craft box at home, you can thread some of them through some of the string for a bit of a musical sound and attach them as well onto the end of your paper cups as part of the tail. Now, as you can see, I've also cut strips of tissue paper and stuck them on each of the cups. And then obviously for the dragon's flames for his mouth. Now for the dragon's face, I used a paper bowl, but if you've got a paper plate or thin craft card, you could also use that. And it's very simple. You just draw out your outline of what you want your dragon's face to look like, colour it in, and then I just cut out the outline, as you can see here. Then making sure that the tissue paper came through the mouth, I then glued it on to the bottom of the first paper cup. And then you have it, your dragon's face. So the last thing you need to do is to make it become like a puppet. So I used 2 large bits of string, which again I used my sharp kebab stick here to pierce a hole in the top paper cup here and the bottom one here on the top, and then thread through, as I say, 2 large pieces of string, so one at either end, and then I doubled it over like so. However, you could also, if you've got these at home, the bamboo wooden sticks or the kebab sticks, you could also use those, but maybe underneath the cups here. So you just do the same thing, you pierce a hole at either end and then you put your kebab stick through, and you can operate your dragon kind of down the way rather than up the way. So that's just a preference thing, whatever you prefer, either with the string or the wooden sticks on the bottom. So once you've done that and maybe secured a little bit with sellotape, because particularly if you're using plastic cups, they do have a tendency to tear a little bit. After that, you should have your finished dragon. I can get mine up here to show you one last time. There we go. So yes, great fun to do. As I said, it is a little bit more time consuming, this one. So it is definitely something to do on a rainy day. But great fun nonetheless. However, if you are a little bit pushed for time, or you just don't want to make something as big and grand as that, I do have these little mini dragons, which are so easy to do. So all you need for one of these is a cardboard tube, so like a toilet roll tube, some tissue paper or craft paper, paint, colouring in pens. I've used some tissue paper again for the flames here, just strips of tissue paper. I've also used a couple of pom-poms for its eyes, and I had some googly eyes in my craft box, but again you could just use card to make the eyes, or if you have pom-poms but not the googly eyes, you can just with a pen draw in the eyes there. I glued those on top of my cardboard tube after it had been decorated, and then I just grabbed a couple of my little bells, because you know what I'm like, I like to make things musical, so I've got bells on as its nostrils, but again you could use pom-poms or you could just colour it in. You could use scrunched up tissue paper, something like that for the nostrils. You don't have to use bells. And then, as I say, I just attach the tissue paper at the end. And there is your simple Chinese dragon. So, lots of ideas to celebrate Chinese New Year this year. So have fun.